Well, hello. Today is Friday, April 14th. I'm just about to leave my house to go to Woodstock, Illinois. That is where my very first 300-kilometer ride is departing from. I got a hotel room for Friday night and Saturday night. My goal is to get there, get settled, get my bike set up and all that jazz, and be in bed hopefully by 9 o'clock. I've got a 5 a.m. wake-up call tomorrow. So I thought I'd do something different. I've never done like a bike check or a gear check. So I thought when I get to the hotel and I'm packing up all my stuff and getting my bike ready that I would film it and go through all of the crap that I'm bringing. As I was packing stuff up today, I'm like, oh my god, all this stuff that I'm bringing. But you know, it's only April, so the weather is still kind of iffy. Although it's 80 degrees and sunny right now. The high tomorrow on our ride is also 80 degrees, but we start out in the 50s, we end in the like low 50s, and there's the potential for rain and like thunderstorms. To pack for like 3 seasons, like spring, summer, and like fall, really, with the potential for rain. So there's a lot of stuff. So anyways, I thought I would do a bike check and a gear check when I get to the hotel room. So now it's like, I don't know, an hour and 15, hour and a half drive, and I'll check in when I get to the hotel. Literally. Okay, I made it to Woodstock. At the hotel, as I was walking in, Jin, who I met on the last ride, was walking out of the hotel. It was nice to bump into him so we could kind of chit-chat and make a plan for tomorrow. It sounds like he's going to ride with Todd and Lena and I tomorrow again, which will be perfect. So yeah, I'm just getting my bike packed up. The lighting in the hotel room is terrible. It's very dark in here, so I put my bike in the brightest spot I could find, which is right by the door. So as promised, I'm going to do a bike check and a gear check, which is something that I've seen people do. The bike check, I don't know, I guess it's not that exciting because I only have one road bike and everything that's on it is stock. But anywho, here she is. You all know her, you all love her. It's old Ren. New for this ride, I added these side blinky lights for additional visibility at night because we are going to be riding at night for a lot of this ride. I also mounted the Dynaplug tool thingy to the bottle cage. So that gets it out of my repair kit, saves, a smidge of space, and then it's also really handy to grab if I do get a puncture. It's here, so if I'm running tubeless tires, so if I get a puncture, I can pull this thing off and then plug the puncture right away. So that's available and ready to go. New for this ride as well, I'm using this top tube bag. I've never used one of these before. If I'm honest, its only purpose is to hold this battery chargey pack thing so that if I need to charge my headlight while I'm riding, that I can then plug in to my headlight if needed. I'm hoping that I won't need to charge my light, but if I do, I have a way to do it. And I tested it out to make sure that my light will still work while it's being charged, and it will. I also brought a spare headlight that would mount, I don't know, somewhere to my handlebars. I don't even know where I'd put it. And then I have my snack bag, of course, which of course has snacks in it. I remembered to bring my spork for this ride, so I don't have to use a utensil if I eat something that requires a utensil. I had mashed potatoes on the last ride, and I threw away a plastic spoon. And I try not to do that. So I remembered to bring my spork. So yeah, snack bag has, well, snacks in it, and then it holds, I put the camera when I'm not using it in the pocket here. And then I have a multi-tool, and I will have sunscreen in here as well, because believe it or not, conditions couldn't be any different tomorrow than they were 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, it was insanely windy, super cold, it rained, it snowed, it like sleety hailed on us. Tomorrow is supposed to be a high of 80 degrees. It was 80 degrees when I got here today. Only in Wisconsin in spring can the weather be so drastically different from 1 week to the next. But it's made it difficult to pack things. So I'll go through what I'm bringing in my seat pack here. I had to test pack it before I left home to make sure I could fit all of my junk in it. Other things that are new for this ride, I got a new pair of sunglasses. and they are, no surprise, enormous on me. These are what adults wear. My sunglasses that I usually wear are youthed sized, because I have a pretty small face, but I wanted to get sunglasses that had photochromic lenses. So they're clear at night, and then when it's sunny outside, they are shaded and they're darker, but they don't make them in a youth size. So I had to get these adult size ones, and they're like laughably enormous on my face. So I don't know if I'm going to keep them, but I'm going to give them a go for tomorrow's ride and see if they even will stay on my face. They're like pretty loose, but when I have a cycling cap on and a helmet, those things tend to help keep the sunglasses in place. So we'll see how it goes. But my big thing with these is then I don't have to bring my other lenses. So for my other sunglasses, I have sunglass lenses, and then I have low light lenses. And it's also one more thing to have to try to pack. So, and if I'm honest, if I would have had to bring them, I don't know where I would have put them. If anybody has any recommendations for smaller faced glasses that have these photochromic lenses, hit me up in the comment section below. I did like a quick Google search for like youth sized photochromic lenses, and I couldn't really find anything. So that's obviously why I've tried out these. These ones are Oakley's. We'll see. So yeah, things that are so different on this ride is just in general layers. I'm going to be riding most of the day in a single layer tomorrow and just shorts, which is crazy compared to last time. I literally wore 6 layers on top last time, and then I had shorts and tights on and shoe covers for the last ride, and I was cold the entire day. So like the weather conditions couldn't be any more different, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Like I said, the only snafu is potential rain in the evening, but that's okay, we can handle it. So next I'll go through a gear check with my seat pack. I know most people like spread everything out like on a white surface, and then they take like a top view photo of whatever it is they're showing you. I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy, and I also don't have a camera to do that. So I'm just going to dump out everything that's in my bag and show you what I'm going to bring tomorrow. At least what I think I'm going to bring anyways. So I pre-packed this while this was on my bike before I left home to make sure that all this crap would actually fit. So here we go. Alright, so here's all my stuff. Oh, and this bag is an Apidura saddle pack. I think it's a 7-liter bag. It's the biggest bag that they make, and it's waterproof, which is why I bought it. With the last ride I did, and then this ride being rain and stuff, option and something that I knew was going to work, and something that I knew had multiple options where I could mount a rear light on it as well. So yeah, this is the Apidura bag, and then I got the matching top 2 bag as well as Apidura, and that is also, the top 2 bag is also waterproof. Okay, so here's all the junk that's in my bag. Because I've been riding all winter and I'm just a nervous Nelly, yes, I am bringing hand warmers, toe warmers, and then this is like an emergency poncho, like space blanket thing. I feel like it's just a good idea to have because we're literally riding in the middle of nowhere. It's all these like farmland country roads out here. I'm bringing an emergency space blanket. This is also a just in case thing. This is actually, it's really quite cool. So this is a chest insulation, I don't know, sheet thing. This is the little thing it packs into. So it's light as a feather and it's synthetic, and you can stuff this down the front of your jersey or your jacket or your gilet if you are getting, if your like chest and your core is getting cold, or if you're like on a big descent going down hills and stuff. And it's synthetic, so even if it gets wet, it'll still insulate you. So this is also like my, I've been riding all winter, like kind of panicky layer extra thing that I have been bringing. Maybe I won't bring it tomorrow. It's going to be 80 degrees. But anyways, it's been in my bag all winter, and I have used it a couple of times, but it packs down into nothing. You know, it's a tiny little thing. I have a couple of snacks. Is the potential for the last 60 to 80 miles of this ride that nothing will be open depending on how slow I am. So, I mean, these are the snacks that I happen to have in my bag at the bottom of my bag. They're kind of like emergency snacks. I have a whole pile of snacks that I'll show you in a minute that I'm going to bring. And then this is just a Ziploc bag full of scratch mix. And then I am bringing a pair of warm waterproof-ish gloves. I wore these on the last ride. They weren't warm enough, but they were more waterproof than my other gloves. But it's not going to be as cold this time. It's going to be at least, I don't know, maybe 30-ish degrees warmer. So these should be perfectly fine. So if at night or first thing in the morning my hands are cold, I can wear these. I'm also bringing a lightweight hat, like a winter hat. This is what I wear all the time in the winter. It's light and kind of thin, but it is quite warm. So just in case, again, I'm packing all of these like panicky. I feel like a doomsday prepper or something. Like I'm bringing all this stuff that I know I'm probably not going to need, but because I've been riding all winter long and have been like cold all freaking winter, it's hard for me to accept and believe that it's going to actually be 80 degrees tomorrow and then I'm not going to be freezing my buns off. So I probably don't need this hat, but you know what? I'm bringing it. I also probably, most certainly, don't need these toe warmers and like hand warmers, but maybe I'll leave the hand warmers. I'm bringing the toe warmers though, because my feet tend to get cold. Okay, fine. Good talk, good talk. I'll leave them behind. This is the discard pile over here. Okay, very good. Okay, and then what else do I have? These are leg warmers. And then this is my rain jacket. I also have a buff packed. Again, panicky about being potentially cold. I probably don't need this. But again, it takes up like no space in my bag, but there it is. And then I have a jacket. This one is kind of an in-between jacket. It's lighter than my Atticus jacket. And then this is my emergency jacket. This is my, I don't know how to pronounce this. Albion? I don't know. They are, I think, a Welsh company. You know, I watch all these like British YouTubers and whatever, and then I get all these targeted ads from like UK based cycling companies and like brands and stuff like that. And this is one of the things that, let's say Albion, whatever. It's a jacket that packs down into this tiny little thing, and it is really thin, but it has synthetic insulation in the shoulders and the chest. And I ended up, this is my emergency jacket. I wore this on the last ride for the last like 20 miles because I was so flippin' cold. And so actually, I guess technically I wore 7 layers last time because this was my 7th layer that I put on at the end of the day because I was so flippin' cold and I was kind of wet too and like whatever. So that is coming with too. And then this is my little Musette bag. I should show you guys this. So this is a little Musette bag. It's also an Apidura product. I brought this with me on the last ride. It's really handy. It folds into its own little pouch. If you need to carry like extra food or like extra layers for some reason, this little bag unfolds. A perfect little size for, you know, if you have extra food or extra layers or something that you need to carry, and then it like slings over your shoulder and then has a little clip to keep it in place so that it doesn't slide around while you're riding. So it has this little clipper doodle and strap to keep it in place so that it doesn't like slip forward while you're riding and you end up like having to hold it here. So it stays in place like on your back. And it's just really handy to like, in case you need to carry more stuff. I don't really anticipate that I'm gonna need it. I bring it with me on these rides. Like, again, it's like a just in case thing. Again, I feel a little, now that I'm like talking about this out loud and gonna potentially like post this video on the interwebs, I kind of feel a little bit like a doomsday prepper. The Dura bag comes with a strap, and you can also potentially like strap it to your bike, like somewhere on the frame. I of course have nowhere to put it on my bike because there is no open space on my frame to put anything on because there's other shit strapped to it. But would highly recommend. It's a little pricey for what it is. I want to say it was like, I don't know, 35 or 40 bucks, but it's so handy. I use this thing all the time in summer when we go ride to like dinner or go down to the lakefront with friends to carry like a bike lock or an extra layer. It packs down to nothing and it's super tiny. Would recommend to a friend. Okay, Apidura bag. And then last but not least is my repair kit. I have a pump. I also have a CO2 canister, and I don't know what you call this. A CO2 squirter. I don't know what it's called, but it's the thing you put on the CO2 cartridge to squirt the CO2 into your tires. Whatever. I also have a cleat bolt. I did check to make sure that the bolts in my cleats were tight, but just in case, I brought a bolt for my cleats, just in case. I have extra Dynaplugs in case I get more punctures. God help me if I would ever need to use all of these. This is wet lube. I also have a tiny little dropper of dry lube in my bike. I didn't show you guys that. I have this little compartment in my down tube that has storage space, and it has a tube, tire levers, and wet lube, or dry lube. But this is wet lube. Here. Tire boot. God help me if I ever need to use a tire boot. Cripes. Patch kit. God help me if I ever have to use a patch kit when I'm running tubeless tires. And then I also have a quick link. God help me if I ever have to use a quick link. My multi-tool does have a chain breaker on it, but I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea how to install one of these. It would take me a very long time to figure it out. And then this is a quad lock thing that would attach to my handlebars, and my phone attaches to it. So I have a quad lock case on my telly. Right now it has the, what is this called? What are these things called? A pop socket, but it's not a pop socket. But this little ring comes out. So if I have to ever, the reason why I have this set up, I don't use the quad lock case in real life. I only use it on these long rides. And the reason why I have it is because if my Garmin computer fails, then I would use the Ride with GPS app on my phone for navigation. So that's my backup navigation. So I would mount this quad lock mount on my handlebars, and then my phone would mount to it, and then I would have navigation that I could see. Again, God help me if I ever have to use it, because using the navigation app on your phone just drains the battery like crazy. But again, I have that chargy pack, so if I had to, I could always plug my phone into it and recharge it, and that would be okay. But yeah, this is the quad lock mount setup thingamajiggy, so I keep that in my repair kit too. Again, in the event that my Garmin computer failed and I needed to use my secondary navigation apparatus. Okay, let me show you what's in my bike. Okay, so my bike has storage in the down tube. So the water bottle mount comes off, and this is also where the Dynaplug tool is mounted. But here in the down tube, there's a little storage compartment in here where you can stuff stuff. So I have in here a tube, tire levers, dry lube, and a pair of rubber gloves. And I'm actually not going to take this out because, as you can see, it's a bit of a pain to get out. But that's what's in here. It's just a little storage space. And again, God help me if I need to use this because my tires are tubeless. But just in case there is like a catastrophic puncture or blowout or something like that, in theory, I could take off my tire and put in a tube if I needed to. So that's the bike check and the gear check. I have more snacks over here and stuff. You'd think I was sponsored by Scratch or something. I have this recovery drink mix, the horchata flavor. If you've never tried this before, it's really delicious. Liz recommended this to me. It's really good mixed with almond milk. It's like meh with water, but it's really actually quite good with almond milk. Just don't smell it before you drink it because it smells disgusting, but it actually tastes just like horchata. So I brought this recovery drink mix stuff to drink, I don't know, I guess at the end of the ride, if I make it. And then I have the electrolyte mix with caffeine, and then just the regular one. And a protein shaker bottle for the recovery mix. And I brought some regular protein powder too, because I like to have a protein shake after I'm done riding. And then I just have extra bars and like snacks more scratch stuff, not sponsored. And then I have a couple nanners to bring for snacks. I got some gummy bears. Oh, here's my protein powder. And then I brought some chippers to eat for like after I'm done. I always crave salt when I'm finished riding, so I brought a little bag of chippers to have. And then my hotel room has a microwave and a refrigerator. So here's the almond milk for my horchata mix. I also brought a V8, to drink afterwards or the morning after. Again, I always crave salt. So I got a V8, and then I also brought these a little pack of pickles for salt. And then these are leftovers that I brought. I made dinner before I came down, so I thought I'd bring some real food to eat for after I'm done riding too, because I know I'll be hungry. And then I brought a spicy water. That's the food situation. And then for brekkies tomorrow, I usually eat overnight oats. But I don't know, man. I just like the thought of trying to shove that down my gullet tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning. I just can't do it. So I brought a peanut butter and Nutella sandwich. So I'm gonna have a sandwich for breakfast tomorrow morning. It's in my little Wonder Woman sandwich box. I figure I'll have a sandwich, and then I'll also have a banana for breakfast in the morning, and then I'll bring the other banana for a snack for the ride. So yeah, I think that's everything. God, I hope that's everything. It's so much stuff. As I was packing up, I was like, good Lord, it's so much junk to bring. Other things that I brought along on this ride that I've never brought before, a backup headlight and a backup tail light. I've never had to bring those things before because I've never ridden long enough to need those things. I really hope I don't have to use my backup headlight. The only reason why I would need to use that is if for some reason my primary headlight failed. So yeah, what time is it? It's 8:34. My goal is to be in bed like around 9 o'clock, so maybe in the next half hour or so. I was going to have another snack and drink some more water before bed, and I need to repack everything now and get my bike all set up. I brought my white noise machine along with me so that I hopefully get a good night's sleep. So I'm going to repack my saddlebag and get that on my bike and get that all set to go. And then, yeah, I guess I'm going to go to bed. So 5 a.m. wake up call tomorrow to get up, get dressed, eat, try to wake up a little bit. We have strict orders to be at the start, which is out front of the hotel at 6:40, so we can get our brevet cards and get the spiel and be on our way, hopefully on time at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's the bike check and the gear check for my first 300K. This, if I finish, this will be the longest ride I'll ever have done. I want to say the route's like 187 miles or something like that, which is the longest by quite a bit. The longest ride I've ever done was 135 miles. So quite a bit longer than anything else I've done. So I don't know that I'm really prepared or ready for it, but we're going to give it a try. And Todd's going to be there, so it's all good. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for a separate video. I'm going to do a separate video on the actual ride itself. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I finish. Hopefully the weather is nice. Again, it can't be any worse than it was for the first ride that we did 2 weeks ago. It's weird, like I have to pack sunscreen and I'm kind of worried about getting sunburned. Like, it's weird. So yeah, anyways, good night. Tell your mom.